Right now at 5:30, South Broadway is closed from Red Mile to Angliana Avenue. We'll tell you why and what you can do to avoid the area just ahead.
Also on WKYT this morning, a Lexington women's clinic is taking its case to the state Supreme Court after a lower court's motion stopped abortions from being performed there. We'll have the details on that coming up this morning.
A severe storm caused extensive damage to a man's house in Estill County. We have more on that story and the forecast, of course, ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Time to rise and shine on your Wednesday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Yes, rise and shiny. Maybe you're shiny because you're hot and you're sweating and that's how your forehead
Could
gets.
be some of that. We've had some sunshine, but we've also had some strong storms. It's one of those patterns where it changes through the day. And today's another WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day as we keep a watch on things. Here's Micah.
A couple of showers in eastern Kentucky at this moment, close to the Mountain Parkway, and also as you roll across 15. That's where you're going to be seeing a brief heavy downpour from Hazard to make your way into Jackson there in Breathitt County. We span out, and the bigger picture here is, yeah, they're about to actually issue a severe thunderstorm watch for Illinois, and then make your way off into portions of Indiana. Strong system to the north of us. It's heading our direction. We will get some thunderstorms out of this during the morning hours, and I'm going to really focus in on not just the morning, but also the afternoon too, because you'll actually get some rounds of thunderstorms. So you will get breaks today. I'm going to show you when I expect those breaks and when the storms move in, coming up in a few minutes.
And we'll see you then. Let's get to the news.
Well, all of South Broadway in Lexington is closed from Red Mile to Angley Avenue right now.
It's shut down because of a gas line leak on South Broadway. And WKYT's Mark Barber is live there now with more on the gas leak.
Good morning, Bill. Crews hit a gas line while they were working on the road here a couple hours ago. Now, we are already starting to see traffic back up in this area as the number of cars on the road starts to pick up. If you want to avoid some of this heavy traffic, take a look at the map. We have a list of some of the quickest detours that'll whisk you around this closure here on South Broadway. Take a look. On the north side, Virginia Avenue will take you to South Limestone, and Red Mile Road will take you over to Versailles Road. On the south end of this road closure, you'll want to follow Angliana Avenue to Versailles Road. You may want to plan a few extra minutes into your drive if you take South Limestone or Versailles Road into work, because there will likely also be heavier traffic on those busy roads this morning as well. The stretch of South Broadway was closed around 3 this morning after crews hit a gas line while they were replacing sewer lines. Crews still do not know when they will reopen this road. Now, there are a few businesses in this area this morning. There is a Starbucks as well as a Waffle House, and concerned employees tell me that the longer this road stays closed, the more this will hurt their business. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, people are dealing with the aftermath of a severe storm that blew through Estill County. One family had part of a tree fall on their home yesterday, puncturing the roof. Neighbors who were looking out their windows at the time, they say they actually saw lightning hit the tree before it dropped on the house. Jay Beckner was inside his home just inches from the wall where the tree landed.
It sounded like a VW bug dropped on the house as I saw a huge lightning flash and heard it all at once and felt it. Felt like I was on a trampoline bouncing.
A VW bug, all right. Adding to the damage, Beckner's yard also flooded. Neighbors say his lawn looked like a pond, but Beckner says all this can be fixed. What matters most is that no one was hurt. A storm also caused some damage in Lexington. Part of a large tree fell yesterday near a home on Haley Pike, landing against an SUV parked in a driveway. Over on Roystor Road, a large limb fell. Some people were already cleaning it up by the time we got there. No injuries reported in Lexington because of yesterday's storms. That is good news.
WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain at our alert desk to explain why a pro golfer is making news this morning. Michelle?
Bill, Rory McIlroy says he won't go to the Summer Olympics in Rio because of fears of the Zika virus. McIlroy is one of the most high-profile sports stars to pull out of the Rio Games. Zika is a mosquito-borne virus that's been linked to brain defects in newborn babies. Now, in a statement, McIlroy said his health and the health of his family trumps all else. The four-time major winner was set to represent Ireland in Rio. Now, at least 3 other athletes have also chosen to skip the Rio Olympics because of the Zika virus. Included in that is an American cyclist whose wife is pregnant.
Certainly understandable. All right, thank you very much. This morning, fire crews continue to battle two wildfires burning just over a mile apart in California. The San Gabriel Complex fire has burned more than 4,900 acres, and it is only 10% contained. Danielle Nottingham has the latest from California.
And they are taking
overnight, air crews in California continued water drops above the San Gabriel Mountains to keep two raging wildfires from joining forces. The fires, which began in Duarte and Azusa Monday, have already burned thousands of acres and forced hundreds from their homes. Robert Ramos, who lives in Duarte, says he's packed and ready to go in case the flames approach.
Luggages, pillows, my wife's wedding dress.
Liz Riley is among those who have already evacuated. She's staying at a Red Cross shelter that's providing hot meals and an air-conditioned trailer for pets.
It's the first time that we've really had this high a temperature for this many days, and it's just going to get worse.
Along with intense heat, fire crews are concerned that a shift in wind direction could push those flames down the hill and threaten more homes. The burning brush has left parts of some communities near the blaze covered in soot.
There was a lot of ash all over my car and all in the backyard. It was like a volcano had been around here and erupted.
Temporary relief from the triple-digit temperatures is expected today. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Duarte, California.
And more than 1,000 firefighters are fighting the San Gabriel Complex fire.
Well, police are calling a shooting an attempted murder, but the girlfriend of the man accused says it was self-defense. Police say 18-year-old Jimmy Skinner shot Sammy Isaacs from a car along Turpin Drive in Richmond late Sunday night. Alicia Malacote says she was in the car with Skinner, their 2-year-old daughter, and a couple of friends when someone approached them and threatened them.
And was threatening to shoot the car up with all of us in it, which, you know, that's my daughter. And then he walked away and walked back towards the car with his hand in his pocket and was pulling stuff out and seen something shiny. And so my boyfriend took his gun, shot up in the air.
Malacote says they didn't find out until later that the man was hit by one of those bullets. Police say the man who was shot, Sammy Isaacs, is in critical condition and relying on a ventilator to breathe. They say he was shot right in the lung.
Friends are remembering a young man who investigators think drowned while on the Kentucky River. State police say 18-year-old Keon Wickers was found dead Monday morning in a kayak not far from Buffalo Trace Distillery in Franklin County. The coroner says he is still waiting for a toxicology report, but a preliminary autopsy finds Wickers' death was consistent with drowning. Wickers' best friend told us they had known each other for about 6 years.
You just need to learn who he is and what he was about to understand how much it hurts everybody. Because this was unexpected. And it actually hits me hard because the first time he went kayak canoeing was with me. And I didn't teach him how to flip over, and I take that to heart today. So.
In a Facebook post, the Frankfort Civil Air Patrol says Wickers was one of the group's original members, and he will be missed.
4 people now face charges after police say they found an explosive device in a Harlan County motel room. Police in Cumberland say that they noticed a woman passed out on Highway 119. When they asked a man who was with her what was going on, police say the man told them they had just come from a room at the nearby Plaza Motel. Police went to the room and they say they found what appears to be an explosive device inside a ball. They've charged 4 people with wanton endangerment.
We thought it was drugs at first. After opening the ball, they noticed nails and gunpowder.
Police say they also found some syringes in the room. They charged Amber Stepp, Kathy Rice, Angel Foley, and Charles Keith with wanton endangerment and other drug offenses. Also today, a Kentucky accountant who spent most of 6 years roaming the Appalachian Trail as a fugitive will now find out how many years he'll spend behind bars. James Hammis is scheduled to be sentenced today in a federal court in Cincinnati. Last year, he pleaded guilty to wire fraud. The judge on the case says she's weighing multiple factors, including the $8.7 million Hammis embezzled, as well as his flight to avoid persecution. Prosecutors want Hammis to have a sentence of more than 7 years. Hammis's attorneys are asking for 3 years.
Some Central Kentucky children enjoyed a fun night out in downtown Lexington. Children's Charity Classic Week continued last night with Kids Jamboree. Children helped by the Children's Charity Fund of the Bluegrass got to play at the Explorium of Lexington before enjoying a pizza dinner from Joe Bologna's and a show at the Lexington Children's Theater. This is the 36th year for the Children's Charity Classic.
Over the years, we've given about $6 or $7 million back to the community. It's a great organization. You know that when you give money to the children's charity, it's going to the charities.
You'll be able to watch the Children's Charity Classic Golf Tournament Saturday afternoon at 3, and that will be right here on WKYT. And we certainly are proud of that partnership with an organization that does so much good.
And folks have so much fun when they go out there for that golf tournament. I've worked at it once, and it was a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, the time this morning, 5:40, 20 till 6. And let's check live drive traffic and see what is going on. Here's a wide view of the region showing no problems regionally this morning. We do want to show you the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government live drive cam at Broadway and Red Mile, where we do have a closure this morning to tell you about.
You know, it is looking pretty quiet out there this morning, but things are moving along okay as far as we know. But like Bill said, there is this closure situation. Crews hit a gas line while they were doing some work on South Broadway. It closed from Dakota Court to Virginia Avenue. That's an area that could potentially cause you some problems.
So avoid that. Find another way through there this morning, because it sounds like there's going to be a while. We'll keep you updated on that. There's a lot more news coming up for you on WKYT on your Wednesday morning.
Well, this Cavaliers fan says the win makes her feel like $1 million. We'll hear from the 100-year-old woman who's celebrating like she's 20-something. Coming up on WKYT.
Unfortunately, we can't celebrate this forecast because it just doesn't look good once again today and tomorrow with the potential for strong to severe weather. I'm going to show you when I expect these storms to roll in coming up next. We have a couple of brief heavy downpours over in eastern Kentucky at this moment. Let's get right into it over the Dice community. As we speak, it's going to be rolling toward Hyman in the next 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes. That's when you're going to be seeing it roll right into downtown Hyman or just south of Hyman. So it's right around that area. It's just a brief heavy downpour. And then Campton got in on the mix. That's starting to fizzle out just a bit, but northern portions of Breathitt County, and also if you work your way over toward eastern portions of Wolf, Magoffin, heads up, you're going to be seeing that roll through your neck of the woods if it sticks together here in the next 30 to 45 minutes. So that's all we have right now. Here in the next 2 to about 4 hours, watch for some thunderstorms to roll right into our viewing area. This will give us the opportunity at strong storms. Out of this, I expect right around 8 a.m. for that to actually be right along the river and then slide down south and southeast through the morning hours before noontime. So heads up for some strong storms during the morning hours before noon, and we still can't during that time rule out the possibility of an isolated severe cell. Here's a look at 9 a.m. and it's right across central and southern zones. So anywhere from 8 a.m. to noon, watch that pass us by as it comes on through. Like I said, strong storms out of that, brief heavy downpours, and we just can't rule out an isolated chance, stray shot at severe cell within that system. We get toward noontime, most of that has faded away, but watch as we get into the afternoon, anywhere from 3 p.m. to about 8 p.m. That's the best bet, especially for northern Kentucky. That is your best bet of actually seeing some damaging wind gusts pass by. There's 10 p.m., and most of that starting to move toward the north as that front does. But then the front starts to kick into gear and slide southbound as that low pressure system gets a little bit closer. Look toward 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, waking up at this time, or maybe a few hours after, we do have some storms in the forecast. For some, not all, it's mainly afternoon hours. You start to see those storms spark back up, and that'll give us the chance at more storms on Thursday. And on Thursday, the severe threat is mainly I-75 rather, and back toward the east. That's the best bet for some severe weather on Thursday. It's not looking likely, but I do expect storms. It's likely that we'll have storms. It's not likely that we'll have severe weather on Thursday, but still the possibility is going to be there, and we'll hold on to that first alert severe weather day for tomorrow too, guys. So this is going to be back to back to back first alert severe weather days, and then it starts to clear out for your Friday and Saturday.
Okay, and you'll know it when you get those storms approaching. Thank you. Micah, we appreciate it. 5:47 now, and a 100-year-old woman in Cleveland says LeBron is her man.
A lot of women probably say that, right? Like, but we probably, I don't know, anyway. Like thousands of fans, just forget that. Freddie Stewart is excited about the wine and gold, giving Cleveland its first NBA championship title.
Go Cavs! All right, all right, all right.
Don't you feel like her some days? Yeah. Her granddaughter says Stewart jumped up to the TV when LeBron hurt his wrist and said, "Get up, Bronzy." Stewart says the Cleveland Cavaliers win makes her feel like $1 million. And she keeps her LeBron James bobblehead nearby. for good luck.
They're going to celebrate today up there, by the way. Thousands expected there in Cleveland. You know,
She's fun. I like her.
This is their first pro title in that town since 1964.
Oh.
So it's been a while.
And I bet that town, you know, they just love it, and all the folks there are just so excited.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Including that young lady there.
Yes. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We'll be checking traffic again, keep you updated on the situation on South Broadway. So good to have you with us on WKYT this morning. Hey, good morning. Welcome back in WKYT this morning on the air at 5:51 on your Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
Busy out there. South Broadway in Lexington closed right now from Red Mile to Angliana Avenue. The stretch of South Broadway was closed around 3 o'clock this morning after construction crews hit a gas line while they were replacing some sewer lines. And crews say they don't know when the road will reopen this morning. We'll keep you updated.
Well, there was a large police presence overnight in downtown Richmond. Our crew was kept away from the scene, but we understand it may have involved a standoff that started at about midnight. We called Richmond police for details. They told us that it is their policy to not give out information overnight, so clearly they're not telling us a whole lot right now.
Right. Today, a Kentucky accountant who spent most of 6 years roaming the Appalachian Trail as a fugitive will find out how many years he will now be spending behind bars. James Hammis is scheduled to be sentenced today in a federal court in Cincinnati. Last year, he pleaded guilty to wire fraud.
Fire crews continue to battle wildfires raging out west.
They're really coming together at this point, at least 2 of them burning toward one another in California's San Gabriel Mountains. Teams are handling the San Gabriel complex fire as one now to prevent them from merging. More than 1,000 firefighters are fighting the San Gabriel complex fire.
Donald Trump is set to fire back at Hillary Clinton today following her blistering attack of his business record. Speaking from Ohio yesterday, the presumptive Democratic nominee warned Trump's economic plans would trigger another financial crisis. The latest Quinnipiac poll shows Clinton leading Trump in the battleground state of Florida, but virtually tied with him in Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Well, Blake Lively has a scary day at the beach, and Steven Spielberg brings the BFG to the big screen.
Also, the First Lady hitting the road with James Corden. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Hey, Snapchat! First Lady Michelle Obama joined Snapchat on Tuesday and chronicled her day with James Corden.
Hi, I'm at the White House today, and I'm going to take a spin in a car and sing some songs with...
The two taped a segment of Carpool Karaoke that will air on The Late Late Show at a later date. Steven Spielberg got a red carpet welcome for the U.S. premiere of his new Disney movie. The BFG is based on the classic children's book about a young girl and her giant friend who introduces her to the thrills and chills of giant country.
Well, I think the movie stands up to the book because I read the books. Actually, I've read the book more times. I've probably seen my own movie.
The BFG opens in theaters July 1st. A day at the beach becomes a fight for survival in the summer thriller, The Shallows. Blake Lively stars as a young surfer stranded on a rock while a great white shark circles below. She joined the cast in New York for the world premiere.
It is an emotional film, but it's also on a primal, thrilling level. It works in both mediums, and I think that's pretty cool.
The Shallows was filmed in Australia and opens Friday. That's your eye on entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, now for today's top health stories. A study of the U.S. diet shows signs of improvement. Americans
are eating more whole grains, nuts, and fish, and they're cutting back on sugary drinks. Research in the Journal of the American Medical Association says 46% of adults still have poor diets, but that is a 10% drop since 1999. More women are turning to alternative treatments for symptoms of menopause, and a new study finds that may be helpful. Researchers analyzed the benefits of plant-based therapies, including soy extracts and red clover. They found a modest reduction in the frequency of hot flashes, but no significant improvement in night sweats.
A new study finds a gender gap when it comes to screening for heart disease. Researchers in Paris surveyed more than 50 general practitioners. They found doctors were less likely to question women about cardiovascular risk factors like smoking and cholesterol. Let's get a check right now at today's traffic trouble spots with a look at live drive traffic.
See what's going on out there. First of all, up this morning we'll show you if you're heading into Lexington. Your commute times are about normal from Nicholasville, a good ride in Versailles, Frankfort, Winchester, and Paris, Georgetown. Just a 15-minute ride right now, so you're good to go. But we do want to show you a situation that we are following this morning.
Okay, so this is a view of Broadway and Red Mile. Now, there have been some issues in a spot of town that could potentially affect you that Mark Barber has been telling us about all morning. Crews hit a gas line while they were doing road work a couple hours ago on South Broadway, closed from Dakota Court to Virginia Avenue.
And we anticipate that will continue for a time. That you're looking there at the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam at that location as folks are making their way around it this morning.
Yeah.
All right, once again, we're going to have to make our way around some storms today.
Tell us all about it, Micah.
Yeah, we already see those back toward the north, and they're heading our direction. There is a front that's basically right over us, and this will actually ride this front like a roller coaster ride, slide right down the rails, and the rails are actually right over us, which will give us the chance. Right around 8 to about 9 a.m. is when I expect it to move into the north. Severe threat is for the majority of us, but I'll show you where I expect the best chance today and tomorrow coming up on WKYT News at 6.